At 70, I entered a children's art class. And also in my 70s, I totally changed my handwriting. I became inspired by Vimala Rogers, who wrote, "Your handwriting can change your life." At 75, I graduated to an adults art class and have started to sell my paintings. My current art teacher wants me to get involved with sculpture next. And at the same time, I took up yoga, and my body is making positive changes. A few months ago, at 76, I decided to stretch myself in areas that scared me, and I took up ballroom dancing. Now I'm taking several classes a week, and I'm fulfilling my childhood dream of learning to dance. I love to learn things I have not experienced. Who knows what I'll do in the future? But I know I will be doing my affirmations and expressing new creativity until the day I leave the planet.
Every person has a choice. That is a given human right. We can choose if we want to be a slave to the past, a slave to all things which keep us tied to a life of poverty thinking, or we can choose to have a life full of abundance. It is completely a choice of our own.
All right, so very, very powerful, very, very powerful. With our creativity, we must remember that certain things are destined to do. We are free to choose in this destiny, but we must realize and work with it because we cannot change major events that are coming into play. So we work with things that are destined to happen, and we have flexibility within those certain major events. We're not forced to live a certain way or think a certain way, but these major events will happen. So we have a destiny that is essential. It's going to happen. It's going to play out. But we have creativity and flexibility within that destiny that is those major events that are going to happen. Like Enoch coming back. City of Enoch, yes, the Abrahamic age. The Church of the Firstborn, 10 tribes from the north. Scriptures that both those will bring, the modern scriptures that will be added to, revelations that will be given, the Christ reigning in Jerusalem and in Old Jerusalem. New Jerusalem actually being built here in Americas. Major conflicts in the world, financially, globally, global systems changing, financial systems changing, medical systems currently changing, COVID-19 and how it's pushing us to get away from these corrupt corporations, these corrupt governments, these corrupt tyrants that want to abuse and control us. We want to be free as a world. So all these things are coming with Christ and his major events, and we are coming together to work with these major events. Is it going to be easy? No. There'll be a lot of turmoil, a lot of strife, a lot of good things, but a lot of challenges too. So all these things are coming together. The quantum systems, medical, financial, educational, scientific stuff, the med beds, all these things. Now, let's go back to some other things that we need to be considering. Now, there are a lot of people out there, Jodi Stoddard and other individuals, that have tried to put timelines together. I don't say that this is bad, I just say that this is their best educational guess and study, but I don't think we can necessarily tie some of these events down exactly. Now, I think some of these events will happen pretty exactly, and she talks about these things in her 4 videos. And it's pretty amazing, so I recommend you look at those things, because some of those events in the heavens, some of those events on the earth are pretty amazing, and pretty exacting in this, for their times and their seasons. But I don't think that's a full picture. I think that's just part of the picture. And there are other things too. So let's look at those things. Last time, I'm going to close with this Michelle Fielding. She's a channeler, and I believe she's getting information directly from the Alliance, which is an alien group that is pro-freedom, pro-choice, and pro-human rights. Now, a lot of this just seems to be mind-blowing, and a lot of people are not going to be able to easily accept it. But I think we've been having help from divine beings, aliens, and from white hats for a long time. I think the Fourth Reich has used and abused their powers with aliens and reverse engineering technologies, and a lot of that stuff has been abused for not for good, but for evil and for control. But I also think this information, this understanding, these quantum systems can be used for our benefit. And time will tell whether or not we can do these things. So what has this got to do with us currently? We're into a great war, information war. We're under a great battle over voting rights, how we're going to be ruled or governed by elites. We're into a great political battle, financial battles, and social changes, scientific and quantum changes. If she is correct, Michelle Fielding is correct, and we get into the quantum IDs, the quantum systems, and the quantum-related education and technologies, it's going to change the way we do things. Now, do I suggest that this is the only alternative or the only thing coming? No, because I know that there are major Christian things that have been talked about by prophets, the Bible, the modern scriptures, major Christian events that are going to be thrown into the timeline with these quantum systems and these other systems. And we will have to deal with both of these things both of these timelines and events as they overlap and work with one another. So is Michelle Fielding's vision the only way that things are going to go? No, because there are Christian things that are going to be put in with this mix. And there are other political agendas, other corporation agendas, other governmental agendas that are going to be thrown into this mix as well. On top of all this, these major events and this tribulation, people are going to have to choose how they're going to live, how they're going to work together, how they're going to make this world better. Some people will take the easy road and the more wicked way. Some people will take the higher road and the more difficult way, a higher way. But people will have to choose. There's no two ways about it. So we'll give you those videos. This video was a real eye-opener to me, and I recommend that you share it. I also recommend that you get into your faith, get into the systems that are going to help you work together on a local level and state level, and the national and international levels, wherever you feel best that you can serve and use your talents and abilities. I recommend that you do it, because if these events are going to unfold within 10 to 12 years, that's not really much time. There's major events that are going to come through these different groups, through these different programs, and the people are going to have to adopt and change with the changing times. And believe me, one thing that's constant with all this is that things are going to greatly change from here on out until Christ comes. And that keeps running through my mind and through my heart, through my soul, through my spirit, through the revelation. And it's just amazing how little is talked about these events, both that Michelle Fielding is talking about, that some Latter-day Saints and Christians are talking about, how these things are going to overlap and work together for our benefit and for our good until Christ rules and reigns fully and completely on this earth. So stay tuned. We have a bright future coming. We also have great challenges and great tribulation coming. We're going to have a mixture of both as we work through these things. This I clearly believe and understand, and we'll see how these things work out. It's best to prepare locally and individually with families and groups because the challenges are going to be severe. They're not going to be just easy. It's not just going to be a cakewalk. There's going to be some pretty difficult things coming. And some areas are going to be a lot worse than others because of bad states, bad governors, bad people in certain cities. Other cities or states are going to be much less tribulating, much less difficult. But the changes will come no matter where you're at. God bless us. God help us. Help us to see and understand all these things as they work together. Good day.